Hello, this is Starbring Light. I'm married. I give a conservative take about the world around me. Feedback is greatly important, so feel free to reach out to me either through email. Well, those sources will be provided for you. And also, some of the audio platforms that I'm on Spreaker. I'm on Pandora, iHeartRadio. These are just to name a few. So this episode is I'm going to give you my perspective. I was recently, last week, went on a cruise and I got to travel when I was saying about the aspects of travel. And I'm going to break this down into two parts. And I'm going to give you my point of view. And also on my point of view, I'm going to give you my point of view about the aspects of travel and the importance of it. Here we go. All right, so let me start out with this. So I would say that my perspective is this with traveling. So, you know how they say, well, I guess it's a phrase, but anyway, I would say when you travel, and I said this on Substack, travel as if when you go in places that you like to go, where you live, in your city, in your country, or so and so forth, travel like that. So it's greatly important to understand this. Now, it's a whole lot of people that say they want to travel, they want to experience the aspects of travel. But I think that is really limited when you just use your sources of travel, of what your agent has booked you to do, or when you go in groups. Now, of course, it's important to stick to the aspects of being smart about traveling. You know, when you talk about, excuse me just a minute. When you talk about the aspects of, you know, you don't do anything stupid pretty much when you're traveling. Of course, that'll put yourself at risk or your family at risk. But anyhow, my point being here is that when you get in the midst of everything, I think it's greatly important to communicate and to connect as you can do when it comes to traveling. So what does this mean? This means that talking to the locals, asking them, where do you like to eat? Where do you like to go? You know, get a sense of everything. And I'm recording right now, okay? Can you shh? Okay. And then that'll help to expand your horizon. The clips, they're back inside. They're upstairs in our room, okay? We got them here, clips, while we're on traveling on the cruise. So, it's greatly important to put all these things in perspective when you're traveling, to really get a sense of what the country's about. That's what I think. And I will greatly say that a lot of the identity in the culture, or the aspects, expressions of a culture, is in the not only the cuisine, but in, you know, how the best way to put it is how the rapport that they have with people. And is it more open with the aspects of wanting people to just go off and do their own thing? Or is it more restricted to where it's pretty much shopping and you shop and then you pay to do stuff if you want to do it? And these are things that I think to keep in mind with the aspects of the importance and the values and the culture and everything else. And what, hey, Maverick, not right now. I'm recording, okay? Wait till I finish, okay? Can you do that? Yeah. Okay. No, go play inside right now, okay? That makes too much noise. Maverick, you gotta listen to me. I told you to stop. Sorry about that. Yeah, my baby.
Mommy, when we going back on vacation?
Oh, we're gonna go back next month, okay? You wanna go play? Yeah, we're gonna go travel more. Well, we'll be in the U.S., but it's always good to have family vacations, especially in the summer. Okay, so, keep these things in mind here about the aspects of where they're placing values and stuff, of how you can experience the country. Is it more restricted in where you can go, or is it more open, and are people more friendly and understanding or not? These are important aspects to think about. All right, so I would say I traveled through Carnival Dream. And so, there's different levels, or I guess, and sizes of ships. It all depends on you. I personally like the Carnival Dream because even though they say it's the second, like mid-size sort of, I guess you can describe it in that sense, I would say that it's good to be on. It depends on what you want to do and your needs. But I would say I really liked it and appreciated it because it was more intimate. Imagine, I think it is a cross between Jubilee and Mardi Gras. Those are the behemoths in the line of cruise ships for the Carnival line. And I just imagine. So on my ship, when we went on our cruise, it was like 4K plus people. And but that can you really get a sense of how many people are on the ship when you're docked back and you go back home. But I say that imagine if you're going to Jubilee or Mardi Gras, how big that would be, and everything else. And it would be easy to get lost, trust me. And I don't know if it would be as much fun. Me personally, I think that, especially if you're going on a cruise, especially when you're traveling, I think it's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind about those sort of expectations and aspects of it. Do you want it more intimate? What are you really looking for? And so, like I said, in the introduction of this, I want to share my experience because I really appreciate all your listeners out there, and I really want y'all to know from my point of view of how I see and view things. And I think that travel in itself is a really true essence of where development, growth, whether it be spiritually or not, or what have you. It really helps and with the engagement of how you want to travel. And that's my whole reason of talking to you all, is to understand that, because I can't stress enough, there's so many people that say that they want to experience culture, they want to be with the people, know the people, but they just want to be, most of the time, which is unfortunate, they want to be in their own hub. They don't really want to get out there and think and explore Yeah, I know. That's nice. No, don't mess with that, baby. Leave it alone. Maverick, come on, baby. Leave it.
We got a baby here.
I know. It's okay. But, you gotta, I just say, if you have the opportunity and you're fortunate and blessed enough to go and travel, really, really live. Really do it. Because I'm telling you, I know it's corny to say, and makes me think about that soap opera, was more prevalent when I was growing up. But we truly do have one life to live. And all these markers really, what you chose to do, your path and your goals, it really adds up. So, when you get in that mentality, oh, there's more time, there's always time. Oh yeah, I get that and I understand that. But sometimes it gets to the point where do you want to perpetually be in that state? And that's something to think about too in the aspects of cruising and traveling. Okay, going on. So, I would say that the food is great. The amenities are great. And you get a lot of bang for your buck depending on, I would say my husband and I, we are coffee drinkers, and especially coffees are, big. And I would say, if you're big on that, and then alcoholic beverages and stuff like that, okay, definitely get plans for that. But also make sure you know what the means of communications of everything. Is it important to you to have internet or not? Because they also have plans like that. We didn't this time we didn't get the package for internet because we didn't travel with our children this time, but we will next time when we go on it's okay. When we plan on going on another cruise, and we're going to take the whole family. But it's important to keep that in mind as far as budget wise and everything else. But you really get bang for your buck with the meals from the buffet, and it's so much you can do where you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just, and there's so many amenities. There's trivia. There's so much to do if you want to engage in that. And some people, when they go on cruises, which is understandable, they just want to stay in their cabin and then get room service. And you free. That's neat. Again, excuse me, just a minute. Again, it's really up to you how you want to, what you want to do in your leisure time. Hold on, baby. And so that's something to keep in mind. Now, Guy Fieri, he has burgers on there, and then I would say if you want, on the Dream, he also has the barbecue. And make sure you plan to get in that line early and be first or fifth in line, because I'm telling you, it's so good that we were trying, and as soon as it opened, the line just stretched and stretched and stretched, and it was hard. And it just goes to show you the input and the thought process that goes in making sure that you get the best experience. And a big shout out to Lawrence, the cruise director. He's a wonderful cruise director, because it's one of those things where it's a huge dip. Sorry about the airplane, y'all. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Wait till it passes. I'm outside if you can't tell, recording. All right, so now it's a huge. It's a different experience when you can tell the person truly has a passion and they truly love what they do. But not only they truly love what they do, in general, they're very grateful people, and you can a grateful person. You can really tell in the cruise director launch of Dream. It's just he is just. I'm very appreciative of people like that, and it was an honor to be able to be on a cruise with a cruise director like him. Okay, so I would say I'm going to end on this, and I'm going to expand it out on Wednesday about the aspects of everything else. But if y'all who are new, who have listened to me for a long time, have been through listening to me from the beginning, I greatly appreciate you. But comedy is a staple for me. The reason why, when comedy is really good, it really is something that's fuel for the soul here. Now, it's unfortunate there are comics that keep in mind of the aspects of PC culture, but that's something you really that you can't really experience greatly. The aspects of comedy, it takes it away, because you in itself, comedy is supposed to be free form, it's supposed to be, for the most part, uninhibited and just honest, And then when you get in the aspects of not wanting to offend people and you have to censor your material, that's really unfortunate. Of course, that goes without saying with the aspects. I think a really good comic is they understand that your message doesn't have to be adult related all the time. You can still send a message to a general audience if you have the talent and the skills to do so. And I would say the best comedian that was on there, forgive me for escapes my mind, but he was wonderful. He made a note about his beard, so he said that just making commentary about it. But I appreciate comics like that know how to balance everything. They don't take themselves too serious, but they're also at the same time they make honest commentary about the world around them, and they just really delve in, and they know how to engage the audience. It's so unfortunate. There was a comic on a ship that was. He seemed okay in the first show, but in the closing show at the wrap up, it wasn't all that good, because again, getting into the aspects of the PC culture and pandering and virtue signaling. It's one of those things. He knows what he's doing, because if he started out with an act like that, nobody would have came back to the final show. It's unfortunate stuff like that, but that's something to keep in mind in the aspects of how you feel about comedy, and if you want to go to comedy shows. So I'm gonna keep this one pretty short and sweet. I don't want to stand out so much, because I won't have much left. I want to go into either more depth on Wednesday, so I'm gonna keep that open for Wednesday. So this reaches the end, but I also want to know what you all think. Feel free to reach out to me through the means of communication to do that. All right, so this reaches the end of the Harboring Light. Hello. Sorry about that. This reaches the end of the Harboring Light. Tune in, turn up, and absolutely take care. Bye-bye for now.